It is 142 days till the man burns, and today we're talking about body hair, how to control it, how to not control it, how to not end up just stubbly by day 3. And obviously the first option is to just go au naturel. Don't even worry about it. Tons of people do this. I would suggest if you do it that you start in advance, because otherwise you'll be going through the stubbly regrowth situation while you're at Burning Man, and that's not that much fun. So, you guys know how long your body hair takes to grow. If you want to start growing it out, get a bit Hagrid's beard going on, start growing it out. Another option if you're going au naturel and it's kind of not your regular thing and you feel a bit weird about it, is to dye that hair. There is hair dye that you can get for your armpits and for your lady parts, and it's quite funky. It could be, you could tie it into your costume, you could, go green hair, pink armpits, blue bush, like whatever you want. But we're about to get a bit TMI for some of you. When you have long hair in certain areas, it's there to kind of protect you. They tend to be moist areas that have smells and things. And when you have long hair, the hair kind of clings to those smells. So it can be a bit harder to deal with than not having any hair at all. One thing that you can do is trim it, because it is going to be easier to handle kind of well trimmed hair. It doesn't have to be super short, but if it's just not Hagrid's beard, then it's going to be much easier to kind of keep clean, especially if you are going with baby wipe showers or, camp washing in a basin style living. For your lady garden, a lot of people do like to get something done down there, some kind of styling, because you do end up wearing, bikini bottoms or things like that. And a lot of people, they don't want like spider's legs hanging out the sides. So, get a bikini line wax. Some people prefer to just go bald or, go crazy, get like a heart put in their hairy heart or a hairy star or dragon or whatever, you're talented or whoever's doing this for you is talented enough to pull off. Again, if you're going to be funky and have a shape done, why not have some colour in there too? Up to you. Whatever you want to do down there. One of the things you'll want to bear in mind though with your lady garden is that hair does actually serve a purpose. It will help to kind of keep, player dust or anything out of there, because, it's like a lady armour. It's like protecting you from stuff. So if you decide to just get rid of it all, you've got no armour down there. You're going to have to take much better care of it, but to be fair, it is kind of easier to take care of it because you're not messing around with hair. I always suggest waxing as the number one option for hair removal for Burning Man, because the regrowth is very slow. You'll probably find that you're not needing to try and do a touch-up shave midway through the week, and even if you do get regrowth, the hair tends to be soft rather than stubbly. So personal preference, but waxing is a very good option. I do suggest you get it done about a week in advance just to, let your skin relax, because it can be a little bit red and sensitive for a day or two afterwards. It can get a bit pricey, if you want to go for a full body wax, take everything below the eyebrows and just get rid of it. But you can get home waxing kits. And doing your own legs and arms is very easy. If you can put up with the pain, it's really not that painful. But I would suggest going to a professional for your downstairs and for your armpits, because they're a little bit more tricky, they're a little bit more sensitive, and if you've never done it before, then probably best not to start right now. Epilating is really similar to waxing. It's pulling the hair out from the root, so you get the same benefits of regrowth. It's just, epilators are a bit terrifying. My one sounds like a lawnmower. It's like, really need to upgrade. But yeah, and epilating can be a good choice as well. I think the main risk with epilating or waxing is the risk of ingrown hairs, because the hair is quite weak because it's been ripped out from the root. So you are more likely to get ingrown hairs compared to shaving. Which brings us on to shaving, which personally I think is just a big hassle. I, don't want to be in my tent on day 3 trying to fix it up, because, I got the strong dark hair. Get that full body 5 o'clock shadow by the end of the day if I shave in the morning. Well, not full body, I'm not a werewolf, but you guys know what I mean. You dark-haired ladies out there. It is completely possible if you do want to kind of have a shaving routine out there and you do want to do touch-up shaves. You can do it. Many people do. but you have to be careful with moop and razor rash. So I would suggest using something like conditioner. Shaving gel is a bit tough to use if you don't have, a lot of water. But with conditioner, it kind of traps all of your shaved hair in the goopiness. And, so you're not so worried about your hair blowing away and turning into moop. Obviously do it inside your tent or somewhere where the hair is not going to be blowing away. The biggest issue with shaving, aside from it just being a pain in the butt, is razor rash. Ouch, no one wants razor rash. Especially not at Burning Man. How are you going to wave your arms in the air like you just don't care when your armpits are on fire? It's not a good look. Anyone that's had razor rash, you guys know it's not fun. And at Burning Man, it's even less fun. So, like I said, conditioner or some kind of lotion to shave with is going to help lower the risk of you getting it. And if you do get it, then aloe vera gel, witch hazel, or, apple cider vinegar is going to help kill it a bit, hopefully. And many people bring those things to camp with them. So if you didn't, you might be able to find someone that does have one of those things for you. For your poor burning armpits, I feel bad for you just thinking about it. Ingrown hairs are a problem because, to get an ingrown hair out, you need to break the skin. And you probably want to avoid breaking your skin when you're in an environment like Burning Man. It's not the most hygienic environment to have open wounds in. So it really depends on you. You guys know your own bodies. If you get an ingrown hair and it's very close to the surface, you might just be able to break that top layer of skin to release it. Or, it might be further down and you might be in that situation where you would have to kind of dig it out like a splinter. So obviously you have two choices, either you just leave that ingrown hair alone until you get back to civilization, or you deal with it. The problem is if you leave it alone, there is a risk that it will get infected. And if you try and remove it, there you have an open wound, which equally has a risk of getting infected. So, it's really up to you whether you want to try and remove it or not. But if you do, just be as sanitary as you possibly can. Hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, whatever you've got. Make sure you are, cleaning anything that you're going to be using to remove it, cleaning the area around it, and maybe pop a plaster over it for a day or two, just so it doesn't get full of player dust while it's still a fresh open wound. Like I said at the beginning, many people do not worry about their body hair while they're out there because, body hair is natural. We have it, no big deal. But I know that some people are they're really not into it. It makes them feel uncomfortable. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you've got any tips or suggestions or questions or anything, let me know in the comments. And as always, if you see me at Burning Man, feel free to come and say hi. Bye guys.